know why I get on here and I always forget the song. I feel like falling in love. Hey, come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Yeah, to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Hallelujah. Thank you for being with us today. It is a blessing to be in the land of the living. Hey, love yourself. How you doing? Hey, Black Lavender, we back again. We back again. What's up, Denard? Hey, Sarah. Sarah said, I have been waiting to watch Love in Paradise. Just been waiting for your thoughts before I engage. It's actually a good show. It's just 90 Day Fiance. Like, I just feel like 90 Day Fiance just needs to get rid of all the other shows, the names, and just say 90 Day Fiance. Like, you don't need to call it something else because it's the same freaking format. Spencer said 2 lives in one day. Your girl is back. Pray for me. Tracy said, Star family on our way to 16K. Please like the video. It helps the channel grow. We're looking to get to 2 million by the end of the year. It's early. We can do it. Thank you so much, Tracy. Oh, do I have the Love in Paradise pictures? Chow, this whole screen just went blank. Oh, let me get rid of Jersey.
1 sec.
I'm not talking to you. I said screen. No, bye. Chow. Who is that? Do I have the Love in Paradise people? I don't. Hold on, let me load their pics. Let me load their pics. I will say this, because I'm looking at the pics right now. Them Real Housewives of Atlanta girls are eating. That promo was something special. Something special. They look great. They look great. Speaking of who looks great, I've been looking at Charity, the promo for The Bachelorette. She's taking it. She's taking it. She looks great. They put money into that show. I can't wait to watch. I can't wait to watch. All right, there we go. There we go. Sorry, I had to put that cast in. I thought I had them in here. I don't know why I didn't. Anyway, how are you guys? How are you guys? Hope we're all doing well. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Is that in? That's Debbie. All right. We're done. We're done. Hey, Dwelle. I'm sorry. Hey, Dwelle. I don't know why I said Dwelle. Hi, Star fam. Came to like this video. Thank you so much. Sarah also said 90 Day Fiance has got so many other connected shows. It's insane. Even inside shows for boring characters like Alexi and that girl. Don't do that. Alexi, he just has, a small personality. But I think he love her. Tracy said, did you see that Lou and Sonia spinoff trailer? I did. I'm excited. I think they're good TV. I'm excited. That's what makes them so good, Dwayne. Missy said, back up in this thing. I know that's right. Child, I've been working my computer extra hard. Poor thing. I apologize if you can hear her. Listen, I got time. So catching up on things. I'm sorry. Speaking of catching up on things, let's start with this 90 Day Fiance tell-all. Right out the gate, Gabe was getting on my nerves. Gabe was and I love me some Gabe, but Gabe was annoying. He got on my nerves. Gabe and Miss Debbie got on my nerves. I was just like, this is the thing. I feel like Gabe realized, I guess through watching the show and just the interaction from the fan base, that he was probably one of the most popular people on the show. And I just think he came into this tell-all with this idea that he's the star. And although I don't think that he was as terrible as Angela, I do think that he was doing the most in, speaking judgmentally on a lot of people's relationships. When although he has a successful relationship, there were still some, bumps in the road as well. And I just did not feel like he was in a place to judge people the way that he did. So he was very annoying. He was just always just like butting in, giving his opinion and being like, well, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Like, that wasn't cool. Why would you come on, like that's not right. Like it was just too much. It was too much. And then Miss Debbie was just like chiming in, and then this outfit. I will say this about Debbie. I hated the way that Osama treated her. He's a nasty piece of work. A nasty piece of work. And I've been said that I did not want her over there with him with no protection. He's just a very, very nasty person. Although I will say, although I think that Osama is a nasty piece of work, I was kind of here for him, like not paying anybody dust. Like Jen's friend who was trying to talk to him and was just like, why would you treat Debbie like that? I think you're this terrible guy. And he was like, okay. Like he was paying everybody dust. He did not care what anybody had to say about him. He was like, I don't care. Okay. That's how you want to think it. He didn't care. I will say I was here for that. But I did not like how he treated Miss Debbie. I will say I still do not believe that this was a real relationship. I think that Miss Debbie was a fan of the show and she found somebody to come on the show with. I do think, I gotta say, I do believe that she told Osama that they would move to the United States. And I think when the show came a knocking, she changed everything so that she could be on 90 Day Fiance the other way. I don't think that this is a real relationship, at least on her end. I think that she just wanted to be on one of her favorite TV shows and she got the chance, because what in the hell was this? And she had the fan to match. What was this? Like, this is what you wear when you are like a Gen Z Black mom and you're having your first child. Like, this is what they wear on those photo shoots. Every Gen Z Black new mom has worn this. Black or Afro-Latino. The Puerto Rican mommies wear this too. But this is what you wear in your baby shower, your baby, I don't know what you call them, baby shower photo shoot or something like that. But this is what you wear. This was too much. It was just a lot going on there, a lot of attention grabbing. And I was just like, you were never really on this show because you thought that you were marrying the love of your life. I think you were a fan and you got a great opportunity to be on your show. Good for you. But I don't think she's going to come back for a second season. And I wouldn't want her to, not because I think she's a fan of the show, because I think she is in extreme danger being with that guy who has a really bad attitude. And I just feel like if you're that nasty off grip, I don't want to know how low you can actually go. Nasty person. But I do think that she dangled the carrot of America over his face, over him, and played with him that she was going to bring him over eventually, because he would not move away from that. He always said, you changed the plan. You were supposed to move to America. I feel like Osama is 2 seconds from saying, I was supposed to move to America. You told me that the show put you on the season of the other way around, so you had to move to Morocco. But what the hell is that? Oh my God, that's my water bottle. I hate when a water bottle adjusts. It's the scariest thing ever. But I will say, although I think Osama is a nasty piece of work, I do believe him. I do believe that Miss Debbie flipped the script on him, and this is what he was ended up with. Tim and Veronica, I feel like we do not need segues anymore, because this is the thing. They are trying to milk it with 90 Day Fiance and these tell-alls, and now they're trying to three-part them, right? And so what they do is they show us the cast in the beginning, then they bring back former cast members and have them comment on what they're actually watching. And it's not funny, it's not insightful, and it is a waste of time. Tim and Veronica were not saying anything that I thought mattered. No shade, right? And if you're not going to have them there talking about anything that matter, at least let them be funny. I would have much rather watched Tim discuss his outfit than have him talk about what he's watching, happened at the tell-all. It just wasn't interesting. And I think they were just using that so they can have something to, make the episodes longer so they can turn it into a 3-parter, but it's not necessary. I have never seen a tell-all from a 90 Day Fiance tell-all where I'm just like, oh, this needed to be 3 parts. I've always said it shouldn't have been 2. It could have been just 1 episode. It just did not make any sense. We did not need Tim and Veronica. It just wasn't needed. It just was not necessary. What else did I want to talk about? Jen and Rishi. I still don't believe this. Even when Rishi tried to do all that crying, I still don't believe it. Jen, I think you met some young Indian guy that likes to have sex with American women because he heard the rumors that American women are easy and wild in bed. I think that's what's happening here. And I think you keep on trying to make a husband out of something that just needs to be eat, pray, love. Because he's never leaving his family's home and he's never not doing anything against their will. Here is why. I don't think it's based on tradition with Rishi. I think with Rishi, do I have Jen and Rishi's pictures? Let me put that up there. I'm sorry. Talking about this couple, I ain't even showing you that picture. I think with Rishi, he don't got no money. And he don't want to work. His parents takes care of him. He's not trying to move out no time soon. He even told Jen that he would build a room above his parents' home so they can stay. Girl, he's not trying to go nowhere. He is not trying to leave his comfortable life with his parents. You need to let it go. If I was you, I would just make that my Indian slide, right? Every time I stop by India, I get thrown around by something fine and Indian, and I enjoy, the land, the landscape, the food, and then I get some Indian peen, and I'm back on the plane to America to live my life. That's what this needs to be. Why are you trying to marry this man who cannot financially take care of you, will never go against his parents because they are the money, and he will tell you whatever you need to know just so he can have you back in that bed? Because as soon as you did all that crying and said you was not going to be with that man, where were you? Back in his bed. And you bought the ticket. That's the thing. You buy the ticket to go see him, rent out the Airbnb, and you trying to make this a husband. How? Where's the coin coming from? It's coming from you. And your family is getting tired of giving you coin so you can go see him in India. Like, girl, let it go. Let this be your Indian slide, and that's it. You're trying to make it be more than what it is, and it is never going to work. Speaking of Rishi, what in the hell was that bedazzled blazer? Do I have a picture? I think I have a picture. Hold on. We gotta talk up. Wait a minute. We gotta talk about that bedazzled blazer. I was like, what's going on? Like, why was this the choice? Why? Oh, shoot. I can't post it. I cannot post it. But why was that the choice? Because he had on this blazer with this like bedazzling around the neck and then like a gym shirt. That was all too small. Everything was too small. Everything was medium. I don't know what's going on with Rishi. I don't know if he just gained a bunch of weight in like the last few months, but the clothing is not fitting like it should. He was pulling at it all night because it just wasn't right. It was giving baby gap, and you a grown man, a grown healthy man. But I don't know what was going on with the clothing, but Jen, I feel like you just need to wake up. It's not a husband. It's never going to happen. Even when she told him to tell his parents that he was going to be with her, he still did not tell his parents the truth. The translator was just like, he did not say it. Girl, you got to let it go. You got to let it go. Stop trying to make that man a husband. Danielle and Johan. I did not know that Johan was 33. He reads like a 25. Not reads, but like he gives 25. I think we're going to get more about Danielle and Johan's relationship in the final episode. But Miss Debbie said that she did not like that he is known for having a big penis. Johan didn't care, but Miss Debbie was just like, I don't like it. No, I don't like it. That's what he's known for, having a big wee wee. I get it. She's old, so of course she would think that that's tasteless. But here's the thing: we wouldn't know that he has a big wee wee if Danielle didn't let us know. And this is the thing, Danielle. You talk about we don't know the relationship and everything that's happening there, but we're commenting on what you put out there. Like you literally put this relationship in our face. Like you put it on TV so that we could see it. And what you put out about this relationship is that he has a big wee wee. He's handsome. Even when you're talking about him, you're just like, he thinks just because he's handsome, he can do this. Just because he's handsome, because he knows he's handsome. Yeah, and because Johan is handsome, and like you just keep on talking about that, you have never told us anything else that you like about that man outside of his physical. So crying to us about how he's not treating you right, it just doesn't land well, because at the end of the day, I hate to say it, but you literally got with him because he's a dildo with a heartbeat for you. For you. He makes you feel younger. He makes you feel like you got a prize. You got something tall, dark, with a big wee wee, and you can be the financial lead in this relationship. So I don't know what more you want from the audience, because this is what you have given us. You have not told us anything else about this man that you like, aside from the fact that he's tall and has a big penis. And I think that he knows that. I think that he knows that that is his position in the relationship. So he knows that he can do and say whatever. The moment he threatens to take that penis away from you, you will fold. Girl, stand up. Girl, stand up. Let's talk about Jamie and White Ike Turner. I did not like this. And Sean, I did not like how you didn't talk about this enough. Chris assaulted Jamie. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I have been saying from jump that Chris has been lying about her financial contribution to this relationship. I have always thought that she led with her being an American and trying to trick Jamie into thinking that she has more money than she has. Remember, we watched the first episode together, and I was like, where is this money? Where is this money? She was sitting in front of a condemned home that she did not go into, saying that that's where she lives. I was like, ain't no way. This is the American with the money that's trying to get a hot lesbian from Colombia. Ain't no way. She don't have no money. I knew she didn't have any money. I knew that she was lying to Jamie. So when she could no longer keep up the facade that she had all of this money, she ghosted her. And then because she's filming the show, she comes back to film with Jamie, and she is looking for a reason to get out of the situation because she does not have the money to continue in that relationship. And she knows that she led with money. This is why I always tell the non-American partners, just because somebody is American and white does not mean that they do not have the money. We got to tell the truth and shame the devil. The brokest white Americans are the ones online trying to find a bride or a groom from, outside of the country, right? Because the Americans can see. Local lesbians knew that Jamie ain't had no money, knew that Chris ain't had no money. That's why she ain't have no lesbian girlfriend, because she was broke. And you cannot be in a relationship with, and it seems like Chris got a thing for lipstick lesbians. You can't be with a lipstick lesbian that ain't got no money. Like, absolutely not. You going to trick on a lipstick lesbian. Am I right? I don't know. Let me know. But the lipstick lesbians in Alabama were just like, girl, bye. You can't afford me. So she got online lying to somebody like Jamie, who was looking for a butch sugar mama. And she thought that she got it in Chris. Why? Because she saw that she was American and white. Fooled again. It's them broke ones that be online. Them rich ones, they will just go there and find you. They don't got to start the conversation. They got enough money to keep on flying back, showering you and your family to get you in their bed and in America in 3 weeks. You don't got to do that 90-day fiance process when you got money. Get out of here. Chris is the one that's wrong in this situation. I always knew it. And that's why she got into that fight, that altercation with Jamie because she was done, because she could no longer keep up her end of the bargain, and she did not want it to get exposed on the show, and it will get exposed on next week's episode. She ain't had no money. That's why she pushed out the vehicle. Because Jamie was just like, Jamie started talking about her after Chris got up and said that she was done. First of all, she was done far too quick, which lets me know that she came there to end it. She was not trying to fix anything. As soon as Jamie says, let me talk to you. I just want to have a conversation. I'm done. I'm out of here. This is over. I'm done. You breaking up with your wife that easily? Why? Because she was about to start saying that you have not been keeping up your promises to her, your commitment to her. And that was the rent. That was the things that you agreed to pay for. That's why you hurried up and left and went back to America, because the money was running out. Let's not play these games, Chris. The Americans see you. The Americans see you. But I just did not like her pushing her. And I felt like, Sean, I would have wanted you to address that a bit better than just looking at. Sean does this thing where it bothers me, because instead of addressing something that the viewers want to talk about, she'll just be like, wow. Coming up, girl, coming up, talk to her. Talk about this situation. She just pushed her wife out of a minivan and almost smashed the producer's hand in the car. Remember that? That producer, thank God she was quick enough to pull her hand back, but her whole hand would have probably got taken off by Chris. Because she's mad that she's being exposed for being a brokey and leading Jamie on. Ciao. Nicole and Mahmoud. I will say this. Gabe was getting under Mahmoud's skin, baby. And I just didn't know why. I was on Mahmoud's side because I'm like, I don't think he did anything wrong. Like, Gabe is coming at Mahmoud with these hypothetical questions. Like, hypothetically, if you had kids, hypothetically, if your kids didn't want to be Muslim, hypothetically, how would you act? Like, why are you talking to this man about something that did not happen unless you're just asking him these things to get under his skin? The reason why I'm laughing is because the way Mahmoud was cussing, he cusses like a child that just started cussing. You know, when you're a kid and you just start cussing, you just say every cuss word, even if it don't make sense. You say everything together. Like, he was just saying every curse word that was ever created. Then he got up, got on the phone with Nicole, and started saying the same cuss words. And I was like, oh, he is struggling. But I was on his side because I don't think that he did anything wrong. I did not think that. All he said was that he will raise his children Muslim. He doesn't have kids. Why in the hell was Gabe asking him that question? It was just weird. I felt like they were trying to pick a fight with him because they know that he, that he's quick to anger. And Nicole is sitting there falling apart, crying while Mahmoud is having a whole meltdown. And she's like, I just want everybody to get along. I'm here for peace. I don't want to create any problem. You don't, but you do. Nicole, you're very messy, but nobody catches it because you serve Miss Jiminy Cricket, right? You are very, very unassuming. But when you cause a mess, you do it big. Because watching this scene, remember when you were sitting down with Gabe, in this scene where you're crying about how Mahmoud is acting, I remember an episode before this, you were sitting down with Gabe, and Gabe was telling you everything about your husband that he did not like. And you said to Gabe, make sure you tell him when you see him. Do you remember that? Do you also remember that you set up that Egyptian woman to come after your husband? You fed her everything that you wanted to say to him. And then when you had that dinner for them to meet each other, you sat down and was quiet while she read your husband for filth and did not even help her when he disrespected your friend that you brought to cuss your husband out. You're messy. You're messy. Because I could not believe that she was sitting there crying like she didn't tell Gabe to do exactly what he was doing. I see you, Nicole. I see you. Speaking of Gabe, listen, Gabe was annoying, but I'm glad that Gabe is in a good place. He's obviously still not in a good place with his sister, because we're going to see that next week on this Sunday, the next and final episode. Thank you, Jesus. But I'm here for Gabe. I like Gabe. I like Isabel. I think they have a good and healthy relationship. But Gabe, to me, was just doing the most. That's all I have to say about 90 Day Fiance, the tell-all part 1 and 2. What do you think? Always. That's what she does all the time. I just want everybody to get along. I'm for peace. I love everybody. Let's celebrate our differences. But why did you set Gabe up then? Why did you tell him to go after your husband? I see you, sis. At the reunion? Oh, I hope that was not the case. Oh, speaking of Gabe, this is one more thing that I want to talk about. I did not like how this show spent a good 10 minutes talking about Gabe's genitalia and how he uses it and what happens when he becomes erect. It didn't sit right with me. I think that Gabe was being kind by answering questions. He didn't need to. And Danielle, even though you were doing this super ally thing, well, good for you. Yeah, that's amazing. The fact that you were still asking questions about Gabe's genitalia as an ally was just, I don't know. I didn't like it. I did not like it at all. So do you get hard? How does it feel, Isabel? How big is it? You would never ask a cisgender man that, right? Is this cisgender? A born child. Sounded like Danielle. But I just feel like that's not something, you know what it is, Danielle. She tells us about her husband's penis unprovoked, so maybe she would. But I just feel like if Gabe wasn't trans, that conversation would not happen, obviously, right? But I think that there was just this uncomfortable ease that they had talking about Gabe that I felt like would not happen to a man who was born male. I didn't like it. Miss Tia said, and being Muslim is not bad. They could be raised Muslim and still be able to choose. That's another thing. I didn't like how the questioning was questioning the Muslim faith as if it were wrong, right? Opposed to what? Christianity? Gabe, it's them Christians trying to get you up and out of here. I don't know no Muslim signing into laws where you can't even freaking exist. It's them Christians that's doing that. So I don't know where you got the cojones to come after the Muslim faith and not come after them Christians, especially the ones in Florida. Oh, baby. Whoo, they doing the work. They doing the deep demonic work down there. My mom raised us Christians, but we were never forced in the church. Same, like I'm Christian, but my family is split down the middle. I feel like every Black Philadelphia family, half Christian, half Muslim, right? I didn't get any of this. Maybe it's because we were family and because I was Christian. I don't know, but I feel like the Christians were worse. I don't know. Miss Tia said also she married into a Muslim family. She agreed to that lifestyle. She went back. Yeah, that's the thing. Mahmoud never changed. Nicole changed and then played victim. Like he's the bad guy. And Mahmoud is just like, wait a minute. You came here, found me, converted to my faith to marry me. Then you left. Now you came back and you're just like, I don't like how you live and I don't like your faith. Everything has to change. And then you put a camera in his face and tell him to experience this. But you want him to experience it in a way where you feel comfortable and are not held accountable for changing the agreement to your marriage. That's what it is. She changed, not Mahmoud. Day one, but she's so unassuming. She's so unassuming. I hated that part, Tamika. What comes out after? Is it squirt? Like, it was just, I wish Gabe would have shut that down. Very invasive. Very invasive. Dope since 1986 said, hey, Nikki. Hey, hey, Nikki. I think it is Islamophobic the way they were badgering him about raising his kids. Like, what about the people who raised Christian and Catholics just wrong? Glad to see you back. Thank you so much. And I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. DeWay said that sounds very Islamophobia, and I'm not really surprised because it is. Because it is. That's exactly what it is. So, what if your daughter wants to do that? If he was Christian, would you ask him the same thing? Because you should. You should. You're over here asking a Muslim man in Egypt what he's going to do hypothetically with his kids because you want to identify with that and come after him, right? But you need to be having that conversation with the Christian men and women in your own nation. It's so crazy how people are able to move accountability, right? It's like, you did this to me, but I'm going to come after this person because I'm mad at what you did, and I'm going to ask them to right the wrong that you did, but I'm never going to hold you accountable. Very weird. I see a lot. Them local lesbians know she broke. That's why she can't find nobody. She'll do this thing where it's just like, oh, it's because I dress like a unicorn. I can't find anybody. No, because you broke. You broke. I'm sorry. Dating is going to be very hard for you if you ain't got no coin, especially if you're putting yourself in the position of provider. Because you lead with that provision. But if you ain't got it, you won't be single. Plain and simple. She absolutely is, Spenty. Spenty said, I think that Chris is giving Angela vibes and the cast must be scared of her and won't defend Jamie. Chris is Chris is a scarer. Absolutely. We're going to find out. We're going to find out because Jamie said, I come with receipts. I believed everything that Jamie said. When Chris was talking about Jamie was cheating, Jamie was just like, she ghosted me for a month. So I moved on, as she should have. As she should have. She said, I started talking to that lady. When Chris came back in my life, I made the decision that I just want to be with her, and I stopped talking to her. But as soon as Jamie starts making sense, all of a sudden, Chris chimes in. Oh, I love her. I still love her. It's hard for me to hear this. Nope. You're about to get exposed. You are about to get exposed. So you are playing the victim role. Child, get out of here. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, Drea. You're right. They never will address it. They never will address it. That's what she does. Whenever it's something that we want to know, that is like the thing that has been, pressing the entire season, Sean will just lean to the side. All right, let's move on to what? The meat and potatoes is right here. Why are we moving on? Or she'll do this. Interesting. Okay. What was interesting about that? Can we talk? Sean, please stop. Can we talk about this? No, don't go to commercial. She does it all the time, and I love her, but I'm like, girl, let's stay right here. She does it all the time. I'm like, we literally just watch domestic violence on this show. We literally watch Chris push Jamie out of the van, almost cut off the hand of the producer, and you want to move on to Rishi? Girl, what? Tamika said, Sean isn't into 90-day shows. Absolutely. I don't think she's ever watched an episode. I got to be honest with you. Sean is just here for the check. She doesn't watch them, so she doesn't know what to ask. She don't. She does not watch these shows. Hey, Soka. Soka said, hey, Nikki, just jumped in. Any plans to review Young, Famous, and African? Yes, I will be doing my review for Young, Famous, and African Season 2, episodes 1 through 4 tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And who's shocked? We literally saw the meth house this season. Because that was a meth house. That's why Chris would not let the show go into that house. Every scene in front of her home, they're sitting in the garage. I'm like, don't nobody got to go to the bathroom? We're not gonna see Chris pack her bags? Because that was a meth house. And let's talk about the husband sending Jamie videos of him blowing Chris's back out. Ciao, messy. She's getting exposed next episode. She is getting exposed next episode. Let's end with Denard, and then we will move into Love in Paradise. Denard said, it should be a requirement to watch the show you're hosting a reunion for. It should, but I think just because she's just good at her job, they probably don't require much. But Sean, it's starting to show that you do not watch this show. Let's move on to Love in Paradise. Let's start off with Carlos and Valentine. I actually like them a lot, which is why this last episode was just so weird for me. So Carlos and Valentine, shout out to Valentine for finally taking off that toupee. The first episode, we saw Valentine getting his hair cut. But we saw him talking to his friend, and she was just like, yeah, this was terrible. I don't know why you did it for so long. He was like, but I thought I looked good, and my man didn't mind it. She was like, it was terrible. I'm glad that you removed it. But anyway, Carlos and Valentine and Carlos are supposed to get married this season. They were trying on, twin tuxes and, talking about the wedding guests and everything. But they have both been fighting this season because Carlos's really good friend. Hold on, I want to get the name right. Is it April? There we go. Carlos's really good friend, Michelle, really good friend, Michelle, is invited to the wedding because he's really good friends with her. But Carlos also let Valentine know that he was interested in Michelle relationship-wise and sexually. But because Carlos is bisexual, but he just never acted on it because she rejected him. So Valentine is like, well, I'm not comfortable with you bringing somebody who you wanted a relationship with, and the only reason why you don't have a relationship and you're with me is because that person rejected you. I'm not comfortable with them coming to the wedding. And so they have been arguing about that. I will say I understand where Valentine is coming from, but I feel like Carlos has explained it to him so clearly. But I also think that Carlos, if all he wanted was for you to set up a meeting with Michelle, you should have done that. I don't know what the issue is with him not meeting Michelle or why you kept that from him. So they've been fighting about it, but the fights were not that big of a deal in my opinion. I just never felt like they got to where it got to this last episode. So the last episode, we see Valentine packing. And I'm like, oh, are they going on a honeymoon before the honeymoon? And Valentine is just like, well, I'm packing to leave because the wedding is off. I'm like, what the hell happened? How many episodes did we miss? Like what? It was such a huge leap. Like they were just having a verbal disagreement about Michelle to now not only is Valentine packing up and leaving and going back to America, he's not getting married to Carlos anymore. I was like, what am I missing? I just felt like it was such a huge leap. And so he's packing up to leave. Because Carlos is still inviting Michelle to the wedding. It was not budging on that. And Carlos was even like, well, if Michelle can't come, then your friends can't come. And Valentine's like, well, my friends already got a ticket. So it's just so weird that they were having this conversation, still talking about being married, just fighting over wedding guests, to now Valentine is moving out. He's leaving. He's packing his bags. And he goes to Carlos and he just says, oh, thank you. I had a good time. Sorry it ended this way. And they shake hands and he leaves. I'm like, no way. Absolutely not. There has to be more to this story. They cannot possibly be done. If that is how this story ends, I will be deeply disappointed in this show because there's no way that this couple got to this point and we didn't see it. The build up to this was non-existent if we're going to keep it buck. Like ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But apparently the wedding is off and they are no longer together. I don't know if we're going to see them the next episode. Let's talk about Juan and Jessica. I hate to say it, but I feel like this is not going to turn out well for Jessica. Here is why. Jessica has two kids that she brought to meet Juan, who she's been dating for a while. Jessica is with a man who is not an American citizen, and they are trying to, get him over to America and get him citizenship. It just has not worked out yet. But she is still with him and still engaging in sexual intercourse with him. We find out that the sexual intercourse is unprotected because she's pregnant. She's pregnant with a man that cannot come to the United States of America. And she got two kids. Girl, what? Two kids that, can we keep it buck? Juan is not fond of. Like, Juan basically said in his confessional that Jessica's kids is bad. And he is just like, is this how they are in America? Is this what I'm walking into? I'm not sure that I want to walk into this. And she is carrying that man's seed. What's going on with the women? It's the women. It is the women. How are y'all making these decisions? When Jessica was just like, oh, we're pregnant. I'm like, why? He can't come to America yet. And you don't even know if he'll ever be able to come to America. And you don't know if he'll stop the process because he's already sick of your children. Ciao. I can't believe it. I hate to say it, but I feel like this is not going to be a happy ending for her. And I want it to be, but like, no, I don't know. I feel like when she's with Juan, he's just not giving her the same that she's giving him. And he has so many apprehensions that he talks about in the confessional that I'm like, girl, I think you need to stop by one of his confessionals and listen to what this man is saying, because I don't think you're hearing him. But she is traveling back and forth, really, really sick, but she just wants Juan to at least be a part of, the belly bump and all of that. And she wants the kids to connect with him, but I don't know. I'm concerned. I am absolutely concerned. Let's talk about Matt and Anna. Matt is 36, but the way he talks about himself, you would think that he was a smooth 62. He acts like Anna is so like, you would think that Anna is 19 the way that he talks about her. And you would think that he is 63 the way that he talks about her. But Anna is a Brazilian woman who he actually met when she came into one of his live streams. And they've been dating for a while. And he is coming to Brazil to essentially marry her and eventually bring her over to the States. I don't know if it's going to work out. Why? Because in next week's episode, we already see what the Brazilian man is working with. And Matt is hella jealous. And I'm just like, dude, if I was you, I would just accept the fact that you just can't compete with a Brazilian man and be okay with it because you're an American man. You can compete over there. But in Brazil, the average men are fine. So just leave it be, right? But he seems to be somebody who is very jealous, who also doesn't feel like he can keep up with Anna. So I feel like he is just going to be annoying. And I don't know if I'm going to feel like it. I do not know if I'm going to feel like it because when they were at Carnival, she was having a good time. And he's like, Anna, please wait for me. Don't leave me, Anna. And I'm like, you're 36. What are you doing? What are you doing? And he's just like, oh, I can't keep up with her. I got to take a nap every now and again at 30 freaking 6. you doing in your 20s that got you so broken down? I don't know. I just think it's so weird the way that he is acting on this show. Like, I gotta get out of bed, my old bones. What the hell were you doing in your 20s? I'm just so confused. But I really like Jessica. I think that Anna, I really think that she's sweet. She's cute. I don't think that she's scamming him. I think she actually really has a crush on a nerdy guy. This is a lot of this. She looks like the kind of girls that nerdy gamer guys get, right? Especially ones that have some kind of following. So I'm not surprised that they're together. I don't think that she's trying to get to the United States. I don't think it'll hurt her if she does. I do think that that's a real relationship, but I think that at some point she's going to get annoyed by him and probably move on to something else, and it will only be Matt's fault, not Anna's at all. Let's move on to April and Valentine. I hate to say it, but I feel like this is another Chantel and Pedro. With more money. With more money, because April is not only is she a doctor, she's pedigree. Like, she's a doctor, she owns several gyms, several businesses. Her family is, typical Jack and Jill family. They're moneyed up. They're moneyed up. She is a woman well into her 30s, and she went to the Dominican Republic for vacation, and she met Valentine, a 26-year-old personal trainer. You can be book smart, but not street smart. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. I really hope that this is just for show, but it seems like she's trying to make a relationship with this boy. He's 26. What are you doing with him? What are you doing with him? And I really hope she does not pull the American thing and get him over to America. And it's just like, well, I need you to provide for me. Like, he's a 26-year-old personal trainer who you met because he was training you at the gym at the hotel that you were staying at. So you should have known what this was. Again, I feel like this is another eat, pray, love situation that a woman is trying to make her permanent future. And I just do not think it's going to work. And I'm so disappointed because April seems like such a smart person. I cannot believe that this is where she's at. Now, if you just want to get a guy to trick off of so he can, I hate to say it, but it's true. You trick him off and he trick you off with some good wee. Like, I think that's probably what the situation is. But I guess, the wee is so good, you want to bring it home. I don't know, but I just do not think that it's smart. And I feel like another red flag is that this man does not want to go to America. He does not want to go to America. Now, I'm not saying that America is like this great place that every non-American wants to go to. I know a lot of y'all can't stand it here. Get in line, right? I'm not saying that, but it says something about the fact that he is with this beautiful woman that's a doctor and has a very wonderful, successful life in the United States of America that he will be marrying into. So he will be reaping the benefits of that. It says something that he does not want to go and experience that. What it says to me is that he does not like you. I do not think that Valentine likes April. I don't think that he wants to be with her. I think what he likes is the fact that she sends him money to live a life. They live a life in the Dominican Republic where he wants to be, that he could not live without her American coin. I think that's what it is. Because when she came to visit him and she was hanging around his parents and they were translating and they were just like, oh, he don't want to move to the United States. And she was like, why not? Like, I can't move here. That'll be ridiculous. I have a lot of businesses and I have money over there and I have jobs and I'm the breadwinner in this relationship. So you're going to have to come to me. He's like, I don't want to go. Maybe in a few years, but I don't want to go right now. And she was flabbergasted. She could not believe that he said that he didn't want to go because she has a very lavish lifestyle and he would experience that. But if he does not want you, why would he go? He would just come, slip you some peen. You will, give him some money and sponsor everything that he wants to do here in a place that he loves, and he could trick off on a woman that he actually wants. I hate to say it, April, but I think that that's what's happening. I think that that's what happened. That's what's happening. And I think once you realize that, you and Valentine can have a much better relationship because it will be a relationship of convenience. You both know what it is. But I think you're trying to make this relationship more than what it is. And I do not know how many times this man has to show you that he is not interested. I don't know, sis. I do not know, but it don't look good. It's giving Chantel and Pedro or more money. That's all I had to say about this show. What do you guys think? Let's talk about it. Let's give them something to talk about. Hold on, I got these Costco's fruit has not been hitting, but their tangerines or their cuties, they've been doing it. Their cuties have been hitting the spot. It's so sad because he don't want to be with that woman, but now she's pregnant. Do you see the way he talks about her kids? He's just like, I don't know if that's how America makes them, but they're going to be like this in America. I apologize for the accent, but he's not excited about that. And he even said, he was just like, I can't believe that I'm 28 years old and I'm about to, I'm about to marry into a situation where not only do I have a wife, but I become a father of 3 kids. He don't want that. He does not want that. And I feel so bad for Jessica because I feel like he gonna find something to make him be like, nah, I need to stay here. He probably found something in that apartment complex and it's probably gonna make it like, oh, I got to change this. So I got to stay here. I can't leave because of this. I can't leave because of that. To delay the process of him coming to America because he don't feel like going to America with all of that responsibility. Because Jessica, no shade, but you give me that when he comes to America, you're going to expect for him to be a provider. How? Girl? Tamika said, so Valentine had no jealousy with Carlos having access to Michelle while Valentine is in the US. Carlos could be breaking Michelle's back, but they argue about her attending a wedding. My thing is, I cannot believe that Michelle broke up this relationship and not the fact that neither one of them is going to bottom. Y'all are about to get married. Y'all still don't know who's going to bottom. Is a Valentine polyamorous? Like, y'all have bigger issues than Michelle. Like, come on. Michelle is not the issue here. Yes, that is before this one. That's 2 shows ago. Hey, Black Girl Reviews, what's up? Denard said, I love Carlos and Valentine. Valentine explaining gay sex was a moment. It sure was. I actually really liked them. I thought they were going to make it. I can't believe they broke up that quickly. It was so sharp. It was so sharp. It was so sharp. Juan is living his best cruise life. Jessica will definitely not come out at the end of this well. And that's so disappointing because a baby is there, right? The thing about it is we're so early in the season and this man is already talking about his apprehensions. Every episode. He's having a great time on a cruise. He's building an apartment complex that he's going to benefit from financially, right? And it's all on Jessica's dime. Why would he come to the US where he's going to have to be a provider and be a father to 2 white boys in America? To 2 white boys who already know who they are. Ciao. I'd find an apartment complex to build from scratch too. Spency said, Jessica set Juan up to fail with that milk situation. After the cheating, she got pregnant with him. A mess. Like, why are you raw dogging a man that 1, cheated on you, and 2, you don't know if he's going to be able to come to the United States of America? Why are you raw dogging? Can't you get lambskin? Don't that feel like the same thing? It's so weird how he acts like that. I'm like, what is going on with you? I gotta take a nap. Ugh. All that drinking. Like, I get it, right? I get it. But I'm like, not at 36. You might not bounce back from a hangover, but my feet are swelling. What's your diet like? What's your blood pressure? Because something's not right. Something is not right. I think that's what it is to Tamika. I think that's what she's doing. And that's sad. He ain't done nothing. And he probably could have done more, but he is taking his sweet little time, probably building everything with a nail file, just scraping something. Probably going to tell Jessica, this is going to take me 15 years. Because that Brazilian guy they showing us from next week, I'm like, oh my God. Is Brazil the place to hold? My God, today. That boy was fine. Denard said Matt 20s had to be full of raves till 5 a.m. to be living like this is his 30s. Listen, 30s are not young, but they damn sure ain't old. Like, the way that Matt was acting was ridiculous. It's so delusional. She's so smart, has so much going on for her. And I'm like, you didn't know that this boy was tricking you? I thought you was tricking him too. They can have a great relationship if they just have a mutual agreement that this relationship is nothing more than a mutual tricktation, where we both are getting something from it. You're getting money, I'm getting peen. Everybody's happy. But you trying to marry that boy? Would you even do this for a 26-year-old American? Come on. Come on. Why do you think it's any different because he's in the Dominican Republic? And why are these Black women keep on trying to get Dominican? Ciao. Oh, April looks great. Smart woman. I don't know what's going on with her in this relationship. Miss Gigi said, I'm sorry, but when I heard personal trader, I immediately thought player. That's what he probably does. Like, let's be honest. A lot of the men that work these resorts, a lot of them are tricking. That's how, what's his name? Johan met Danielle. But they thinking that they just going, bang an American woman to get some coin. These American women are trying to marry them and bring them to the United States. And they're like, absolutely not. Like, this is just my job. I'm not trying to come over there and we see how they treat y'all. Absolutely not. Denard said, April rubs me the wrong way. Like, you live in opulence and making poor street choices. Baby, the way she going to start talking to that man. Ciao. Spencer said, I feel bad for her cleaning habit, but the way she talked down to him was mean. I think that's who she is. And unfortunately, we're going to see more. Yep. But this is my thing. You knew that boy ain't come from money. You knew that boy ain't come from money when you was laying under him, getting that Dominican bean. You knew he ain't had no money. So why you in his house sitting like they got roaches, uncomfortable, disrespecting him, and then being shocked that he don't want to come to the United States? Look how you treat him in his country. Ciao. I don't ever want to experience that. That girl is gone. She's gone. Off her rocker. Tamika said, Nikki said, just go on and adopt him. And send him a stipend at this point. Were they on the I don't think they were on this episode. That's why I didn't talk about him. But Spency, why did you describe him like that? Why did you describe him like that? The only thing I'll say about this relationship is that it's like, yeah, they're giving fraudacity. Something is up. Something is up with that relationship. But let me tell you something. These Jamaican men, They are scamming the hell out of these white women. I did not know it was like that. I did not know it was like that. When we first met Everton, I was like, ain't no way this is the guy. Ain't no way this is the man that you sending $40,000 to. Girl, child. Blue Jay said, I like when a party from a different country brushes off America. I feel like it kind of somewhat equals out the relationship because they hold the green card over them. I love that, but it's so common. It's so common. Like, America, don't nobody want to come here. Very few people do, especially now, right? And a lot of people who come here, some are refugees. So they came here because something was going on in their home country. If everything is cool and gravy, ain't nobody trying to come here. But Americans have this, this overinflated sense of self, and it just, does not work in our favor. Never does. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I am so sorry, Jasmine. Forgive me. Oh God, forgive me. True. Very true, Indy. Very, very true. Tracy said, Star family, we're on our way to 16K. Please like the video. It helps the channel grow. We're looking to get to 2 million by the end of the year. I know that's right. I feel like this is the thing. If your hand wasn't 6'6", would we think that he is so fine? I think his height helps him. Blue Jay said, I think people don't want to accept the fact that they hired a... Blue Jay, why are you preaching? Why are you preaching up in here? Come on, pass the collection plate. Blue Jay is preaching because that's what it is. That's what it is. It's sex work. It's sex tourism. And the Americans are trying to legitimize sex work. And the non-Americans are just like, it is what it is. Give me my money. I ain't trying to come there. I just want the money. I want the American dollar over here. That's what I want. Like, leave me alone. Spency also said that voicemail helped me cackling, but he looked like he has been through it. I will say that voicemail with Everton, I did not believe that. I felt like it was a producer who was not Jamaican, who was trying to put on a Jamaican accent, and it was terrible. He cheats on everybody. He's not true to you. He is not the one. I was like, ain't no way that is a Jamaican woman. Ain't no way. He fed me ackee and sawfish and mad. What is that accent? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. But Everton's face when he heard the voicemail, he was like, I made a mistake. A mess. But I did not believe that voicemail for 1 second. I was like, that is a producer. That is a producer. No way is that a Jamaican woman. No way. He will break your heart. Hey, hear me now. Hear me now. Chanaman. No way. No way. Anyway, let's get into Match Me Up Abroad, which is a really good show. I like it. I like it. First of all, let's start off with Susan. I have a picture here. Susan, who is off to Colombia. Susan, 52, is off to Colombia to find herself a man. She has been dating in New York City for a very long time, and she was not able to find anyone. And I am telling you one thing. It is so sad what the women say about the New York dating scene, how bad it is. That's so crazy. But I honestly think that the women that are saying that are people who are not native New Yorkers. Because I feel like New Yorkers and their respective boroughs find love. I think it's someone who moved there for work and live in like the trendy areas have a really hard time finding love. Because the same thing happens in LA. Everybody says that LA is like, you cannot find anybody to date in LA. It's not a good place to date. But then you have native people who are from LA who get who find love and are in relationships and get married all the time, but they're from here. So they know like how to date here. But because you are not from here, you moved to LA, you moved to the trendy areas, and you were just dating in transplant circles, you're never going to find your mate in a transplant circle because nobody is there for forever. Everybody is there to get something out of that city and bounce. So nobody's thinking long term. So that's why it's just a lot of these relationships are just hookups, because like if you are a transplant moving to a trendy city and you're moving there for work, you are not going to treat it like you're forever. You're going to treat it like the subway station it is until you hop on the train that takes you to where you really want to go, where you'll eventually meet your mate. You're just not going to find it there. And I think that's Susan's issue is, and a lot of transplant women from New York City, or a lot of women who are from New York who move to like trendy areas to find love, like that's what's going to happen, because the men and the women there are not there for a long time. They're here for a good time and a check, but not a long time. I don't think Susan is picky, because Juan, first of all, let's talk about Juan, who is the matchmaker in Colombia. Okay. Hey, Mr. Juan. He is her matchmaker, along with another young lady's matchmaker. We will get into her. He is somebody who specializes in putting Americans together with local Colombian singles. He says that Susan is too picky. I don't think that she's picky. I think that Susan is 52. She's been dating for a very long time. She knows what she wants and what she's not going to compromise on. And I don't think that that's wrong. I do think that she has a long list. I hope the list is not absolute, but I will agree that she knows what she wants and she put it on that list. I would rather her put it on the list and give to the matchmaker than not put it on there at all and he give her that. However, when you do focus solely on lists of like, this is it and this is it, and when it gets to be too much, it gets to be a bit superficial, right? But if your absolute is, oh, I won't date anybody that kills animals, right? I'm not saying somebody getting a steak, but I'm not going to date a guy that's snapping the necks of kittens. I get that. But if you're like, oh, I'm not going to date a guy from Jersey, girl, what? You're being ridiculous. But like some of the things on Susan's list, I got it, but I felt like she was doing a bit too much. But it's okay to be picky. It's okay, just as long as it's not like too superficial. But I like her. I really, really do. I agree with her about her date. I do not know why Juan put her on that date with that dry guy. That guy was so dry. He would not let her talk. Whenever she would try to interject her opinion on something, he would just talk right over her like she wasn't even speaking. It was very, very weird. I do feel bad for the guy because it seems like he really, really liked her, but I felt like he just liked listening to himself. I don't think he was really engaged in the date, and I'm glad that Susan got out of there and just was not desperate. The guy's name is Miguel. He was a sweet guy, but he just was not listening to her, and that is something that Susan wants, and she didn't get it. I will say, when she talked to Juan about it, Juan was like, oh, you didn't like Miguel? He was on your list. Like, he had the things that you wanted. But I'm like, as a matchmaker, are you vetting these people? Are you meeting these people that you're sending your client out on a date with? Or are you putting out a casting call and whoever meets these requirements, you just put them in in a space that you pull from to take your client out without sitting down with these people to see if they're actually a good match with your client? Because that seems to be what happened with Susan and Miguel. I don't think that Juan properly vetted him, because if he did, within 5 seconds, you would have known that he wasn't a good match for Susan. Because what the hell was Miguel like at casting? If he dry as hell on this date, I know he was dry at the casting. If you had one, Mr. Juan. Anyway, let's move on to Harold. This is, where's Harold? This is Harold, 41-year-old single man who is autistic. He wants to find a Scandinavian woman because he is not able to find love in America because he's having problems with the American women. They're just not doing it for him. Harold is a sweetie. I like him. I think he's cute and adorable. I also think that the reason why he's not able to find a partner is because he dates outside of his abilities. Here's why I say that. Harold is going after women who are with outside of his community or outside or women who do not understand his community. And if you are going to be a husband, a head of household, a leader, a protector within your household, then you need to be with a woman that understands you and knows how to communicate with you. He is not doing well because I think he is going after women who are either not autistic or have his or has similar autism, or do not have relationships with autistic people or people who have his similar autism. And I think that's going to work against him because if if this person does not understand you, they will read you wrong, like he's being read by his matchmaker, who is Katerina. Sweet woman, but she is reading Harold completely wrong. I don't even think that she knows that he's autistic, because the way she describes Harold is as a child, right? The first thing she says about him is that child is a baby boy who needs his mama. He wants to date and be with somebody like his mom. And I'm like, you have misdiagnosed this man. This man is autistic. You need to find a woman who knows, who has dated men like him, and or who has had relationships or understands his kind of autism. If you're not going to find that for him, he's going to continue to be in a situation, and the women that you set him up with, without telling them that he is autistic, are going to read him as a weird creeper because you view him like that, right? So I'm just like, I think this is his problem. He is surrounded by people who do not, aside from his mama, do not know how to deal with him, do not know how to communicate with him, have not even studied or gotten to or wanted to learn about how to communicate with this man. So I think that's going to be a really big issue, because he doesn't even know that he needs a partner that knows how to communicate with him, because I don't think he's ever been in an environment where people have worked to understand him, aside from his mom. So I would not be shocked if he wanted somebody like her, because that is the first person that has ever taken care and understanding for him. He can always run to her and she will always be able to communicate with him. But he can't do that with anybody else, because I feel like he's going after people who do not understand his abilities. And here we are with Katerina, who don't get him. The soon as she called him a baby, a baby boy that needs his mama, I was just like, okay, so you're going to be terrible for Harold. Terrible for Harold. But here's to hoping that he finds what he's looking for. I will say he's a character. He is a character, because there is one scene, I think it was in last week's episode, where he went to meet with a lawyer about a prenup. And a lawyer was just like, okay, so where's the bride? And he was like, oh, I'm not even dating yet. And the lawyer was like, well, this is the first time somebody's come to me to get a prenup, and they don't have anybody that they're marrying yet. I'm glad that he's a little ahead of the curve, but this is a little too soon to start anything. And the thing about it is, his mama knew that. So why are you sitting up there with your son in this lawyer's office? Both of y'all looking dumb, like y'all don't know what's going on. Like, she was just like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm like, why didn't you tell your son this before you came to this lawyer's office with him? Poor Harold. Nobody gets him. Nobody gets him. So we finally get Harold and Katerina meet up. And the only reason why I want to talk about this is because Katerina may have misdiagnosed Harold, but she knows how to read a man. She knows how to clock a man's teeth real quick. So as soon as she meets Harold, she looks at him and she goes, and then they get in the car and they're just talking, getting to know each other. Just, they've been talking via the internet. So now she's seeing him in person. She's seeing her client in person. So she just has a couple questions. And she's just like, so you said that you're 5'8", but I'm looking at you and I'm seeing 5'6". So Harold goes, oh, maybe with age, I get a little shorter. My body starts to shrink. Harold, you ain't never been 5'8". And Katerina clocked your T. And she said that. She said in her confessional, she was just like, I need to get all the truthful information out of him because I need to know how to properly service him. If he's lying to me, I can't help him. So she kind of won me back with that, although she misdiagnosed Harold. She did kind of win me back with that to being like, okay, we got to get all the truthful things out here because if not, I can't help you, right? Like she knows that he is aware that women like tall men, so he's lying about his height. Great. She's also aware that those suspenders are never coming off. That's his thing. She's never going to get that man to take them off. So now she has to find a woman who likes a man with suspenders, right? Who likes a man that maybe fudge the truth a bit about his height. That lets her know a little bit about him, but I wish she would have studied up on Harold's autism. So let's move on to, I totally read this woman's name wrong. And I'm glad that I listened in because I thought her name was Stanika. Stanika. But it's Stanika. Right? Yeah, it's Stanika. I thought it was Stanika. Anyway, Stanika is a 32-year-old woman. 32. With an old spirit. She is someone who has not found love in the States, so she is going to Morocco. I feel like a lot of these people just pick some place on the globe, like coming to America, and just do not do the research. Because I just don't think that if you're a Black American woman, Morocco it's a place to go. But the night is still young. So anyway, she decides that her man is going to be in Morocco. So that is where she's going to go. This is her matchmaker, Nina, who specializes in matching Arab and American partners. So she's helping Stanika find love. I'm rooting for Stanika. Here's why. She is somebody who has not been happy with her body for a very long time. She's been overweight a lot of her life, and she is not like that. And now she has lost a lot of weight. She's coming into her own, coming into her confidence, and she is ready to find love. She has not said it, but I think that she may be a virgin because she has said that she has never dated before. That don't mean you ain't never banged, right? But I think that she just does not have any experience in having any kind of intimate relationship with men. And I'm not saying she has it with women, but I think that she just does not have that, right? I'm kind of concerned that she's choosing a place like Morocco to go to find love, pop her cherry, do all of that stuff. Because I'm just like, if you don't know the land and you're going in so vulnerable, I don't know how smart that is, but I'm rooting for her, and I hope that it turns out great in her favor. I am a bit concerned, but I think she's in good hands with Nina. She seems to really know what she's doing. But again, I don't know why she went to Morocco when like St. Lucia is right there. But that's her thing. That's her thing. I will say, Nina, I was about to sign up for your services because when Stanika, when she arrives to Morocco, Nina's assistant meets her. And when I saw that man, I was just like, is this how Nina is coming straight out the gate? Is this how she is swinging? If that's the case, girl, sign me up. But the guy actually was just her assistant. He wasn't her date. But me and Stanika thought that was going to be her date, but it wasn't. But she actually ended up setting her up on the date, and we're not going to be able to see that date until next week, this Sunday. We won't be able to see that date until next Sunday. So we'll see how it goes. I hope it goes well for her. I like her, and I want to see her flourish. I really, really do. We're going to end here with Nathalie. Nathalie, yes, a 25-year-old Sri Lankan woman, Sri Lankan American. She is looking for love in Colombia as well. And Juan is also her matchmaker. So Natalie is looking for a Colombian man because she says that they're attractive and they're pretty much more or less the type of husband that she's looking for. The fun thing about Natalie is that I hope I'm saying it right, is that her mom is also looking for a husband for her in their culture, but she has not been successful yet. So basically, this storyline is a race between Juan and Natalie's mom to see who is going to be able to bring her perfect match. I'm interested in seeing more with her. I do feel like she's so young to be looking for a husband abroad. I just feel like you're far too young to throw in a towel already locally, but we will see. It seems like a good show. We have a few more people to meet. I'm tuned in. I enjoyed it. It's a nice, fun, lighthearted reality TV show that I think is going to be a breath of fresh air for a lot of people, especially for somebody like me, because all of my reality TV shows that I watch and review are going a bit dark. So this seems like a fun, lighthearted one that I'm interested in. That's all I want to say about this episode or this show. What do you guys think? Let's get into it. Afua, thank you so much for the super chat. Afua said, Nikki, you are missed, making my worst day less stressful. Oh, Afua, thank you so much. And thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Oh, Blue Jay, thank you. Said, I love how observant you are. I think the best comedy comes from people who are observant and good at referencing. Thank you so much. Denard said, Susan is a trip. I wish her the best because I think she has a lot to give. Just bad luck. Yeah. I do also think that, she probably did this thing where, she got divorced. She got married and divorced very young. And I think she really got caught up in her career and then looked up and realized that, hey, I do want to be a wife again. And now she's like scrambling. And I think that just goes to show that even on the pursuit of your success, take time out for yourself. Take time out for yourself. Listen, I'm learning that as well. Now I got the time, girl. Blue Jay said, I think people don't want to accept the fact. Oh, yeah, we got that one. Period. She's done a lot of dating. She knows what she likes. She knows what she likes. Miss Gigi says, Susan has set her weight to 52. She's not willing to budge at all, and that will limit her options. Miguel was a nice guy. I felt like he was attractive. He really liked her. He was just a buzzkill in the conversation category. I think she should probably give him another chance, but knowing Susan, she's on to the next. On to the next. I will say I felt like Susan was a bit harsh with Miguel. I don't think that he was being mean. I didn't see him being mean or nasty to her. I do think that he likes to listen to himself talk. So he, spoke over her a lot. I didn't think that any of it was in a mean-spirited way. I didn't think that anything that he did on that date warranted her insults. I just felt like she was doing a bit much for that. Blue Jay said, you would think having older people as matchmakers should be easier. They know exactly what they want, the good and the toxic. Side note, what do you think about the Jewish matchmaker? Absolutely love that show. I will review it, but I'm going to finish the whole season and then talk about it with you guys. But I think it's a good show. I watch it with my family. We love it. Miss Tia said, I think he, talking about Juan, gave Susan someone who fit the list to show her the list isn't everything. Oh, that's smart. But I wouldn't want you to waste my time, especially at 52. I don't need you teaching me a lesson, even if it's successful. You know what I mean? Drewski said, hey, Nikki finally caught up on the last live and popped in here since I don't watch any of these and can just buy. Thank you for stopping by. Miss Gigi said, Harold is adorable. I'm so entertained by him. The different suspenders send me. That's his thing. That is his thing. Drewski said, as an artistic person, yeah, you need someone who gets you or understands the autistic mind. If not someone else who is autistic, then someone who gets that / our mind. I agree. I absolutely agree. Blue Jay said, seeing the neurodivergent community TikToks, the neurotypical seem to get a little buck once they get tired with you. Oh, I don't see that coming from my Howard. Smithy said, my Harold. Smithy said, I wonder if Harold was honest with her about being autistic. I feel like he told her. If he led with that when we met him, I feel like she would know that. Of all places, very random. Ghana is right there. Like all them the black countries, and you chose Morocco as a black woman. Baby, if I was her, I would take my black American self to a place with my black American behind. No shade, we'll be fetished. She needs to be treated like she is the best thing smoking. She needs the white woman treatment. She's gone through so much. She needs the white woman treatment. I gasp. I was like, is that? I was like, is that her date? Sign me up, Nina. Oh, he was fine. Oh, he was fine. And that chain, something about a nice chain sitting on the chest of her brother. Oh, he was fine. Indy said Morocco is known for sweetheart scammers. Yikes. So is Turkey, Egypt, and Tunisia. Yikes. Yikes. Oh, not my girl Stanica. DGF said, I needed this reminder about this show. I forgot all about it. It's so good. It's cute. It's fun. It's light. I like it. You know what? I didn't like the last season, so I didn't get into the new season. Let me know if it's worth watching. Like I said, all I got is time. Hey, Shanty, what's up? How are you? I've heard stories. To be honest with you, I've only heard stories from one black person that I know that lives there. And because they're family, I tend to, listen to them a bit more. But that's just could be one person's experience. It probably is not the full story, but her stories are convincing, which is why I'm like, Stanica, I don't know why you chose that place. I'm telling you, it was giving me Coming to America, Spin the Globe, Morocco. Because why? But that's the thing. One incident, I'm pretty sure she has a friend that has a Jamaican husband. I'm pretty sure she has a friend that has a Haitian husband. Why not Haiti? Like, I don't get it. I do not get it. I'm like, Morocco. Okay. Okay. Dr. M said, but I think she's better off coming west or Southern Africa. I think so too. Because we got to be honest with you guys. We got to be honest here. She's in this new body, experiencing all of these new things. She need to have a good time. I don't know why she's trying to get married. Girl, this is all of this is new for you. Go to Ghana and get thrown around. By something tall, black, and fine. Girl, what are you doing? Child, ain't Nigeria right there? And then I'll stop by Kenya. Girl. Dinar said, Greece or one of the many African nations, please. Right? I don't. Who is her friends? Busola said, is anyone going to watch The Bachelor Seniors Edition? Yes. And I'm going to review it with my mom. So that's something to look forward to. I really like it. I haven't finished it yet, but I like it. Hey, realities, what's up? Sarah said that one couple that got engaged on the show wasn't even matched by her. They matched on the dating app. Throw the whole show away. Ciao. Spitzy said, Nikki, if you have time, you got to watch Selling Sunset. Yes, but I'm watching it from the beginning because I just would not know what's going on. So that's something that I'm just watching all the way through. But if I get done in time, I'll review it. Nick Canning is catching strays. That, to be honest with you, I'm so messy. That's what made me want to watch it. because I saw a clip that said something about Nick Cannon's baby mama's on this show, and I was like, okay, let me check it out. Dr. Rim said, I know for a fact Ghana and Nigeria will love her. See, Stan, like that's where you need to go, sis. That's where you need to go. Lead with your accent. Some people said, is she Muslim? Will there be an issue? I don't believe she is. But isn't the majority of men in Morocco, isn't like the main religion of Morocco Islam? We going to Islam? Mimi Nick said, I think production chose Morocco and Colombia because how do they happen to have two people who want to be matched there? True. Because it does seem random. DGF says she's tall with a cute figure and wears clothes nicely. She ought to try modeling. She absolutely should. Beautiful woman. Blue Jay said, matchmaking abroad seems stressful. I wonder, do they research the good, the bad, the great, and the ugly? Do they have the real conversations? I think at the end of the day, they probably do, but you can't have too many conversations because then you won't have a lot of clients or, a big pool to pick from. At some point, you just put people together and you hope it works, like Married at First Sight. Miss Gigi said, I started selling Sunset, but it was so many seasons, I got overwhelmed. Yeah, I went to go watch it and I was like 8 seasons. But I looked at it, wasn't a lot of episodes, so I'll check it out. I will absolutely check it out. Oh, hold on. What happened there? What? Let me click out of there. Oh yeah, I got that one. Star family, it is dinner time. Your girl got to get out of here. Well, not dinner time. I got to start it. Nights like this, I wish that I lived in Atlanta. I live on the outskirts because there's just nothing that easily accessible. I can't walk to anything. Everything's a drive. Everything has to be cooked, and it's so hot. I don't feel like it, but I have to. Yesterday, I made a delicious salmon in my air fryer. I think I might make that again. But anyway, I got to get out of here. I thank you all so much for joining me. Please join me tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Young, Famous, and African. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to make it a live or just do a one-off video. But I wanted to talk about the prom conversation that has been happening within the Black community because I got a lot of thoughts. So I'm not sure if it'll be a live or it'll just be a video. We will see, but I'm definitely going to review Young, Famous, and African tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I will see you there. Miss Tia said, I've been thinking of starting Sunset because of Nick's baby mom. The baby mom brought us to the show. I wonder when they'll get a show, The Real Baby Mothers of Nick Cannon. I don't think he'll ever allow it, but my God, today, what chaotic, good reality TV that would be. Anyway, fam, let me get out of here. Love y'all. Thank you for stopping by. See you soon for something else. Bye. Mwah. Matchmaker, make me a